Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. So, there has yet to be a sustained public-facing BWWM relationship, black woman, white man relationship, that can be like the sustainable go-to for women to say, for black women to say, you see, this works, or you see, we're not the problem, it's black men. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that one it couple that they can go to. Now, really, there aren't any it couples in Hollywood. Hollywood is a place where relationships don't last, kind of like all of America, but it's just like that. But they're hoping that they find something, because what they want, and shout out to Media Man, who point out that the study came from like 2008 on relationships that began in the 90s. What they are looking for is something that solidifies that. The statement that, black women, white man relationships last. Therefore, the relationships problems between black men and black women are a result of the black men. They want to create that narrative. And in order to do that, they will tolerate a lot of crap because they're in the relationship for the optics of the relationship, more so than they are for the person that they're with. Hit the like button. And that is the difference between swirling and interracial relationships. They're actually doing it for the optics. They're actually, you see how happy I am? You see how happy it wasn't us. We're not the problem. They're doing it. They've become sacrificial lambs to rebrand the image of black women. Now, instead of for actually correcting the behaviors of the women who damaged the relationships in the first place, they just say, oh, yes, all of the stereotypes that you see, which is observable reality from men of all races, I want you to ignore that. And I want you to focus on this relationship between a exceptionally attractive black woman and an exceptionally average non-black man. And that is the case, or it appears to be the case, of JeNa and Kenny. But before I do that, before I go deep into that, I want to give you an opportunity to hit that like button while I play the short of the day. So let's see what I'm talking about in the propaganda that they are trying to portray.
You know what you think. Take a look.
You ask, what's the difference between dating some black men and the white man? Well, the white man is going to call you and invite you out. The black man is going to text you, good morning, beautiful. Hello, gorgeous. What you doing? The white man is going to take you to a very nice dinner and pay for it. The black man is going to ask you, what you cooking? Can I come over? The white man is going to take you to get your tire fixed and pay for it. The black man is going to tell you, you need to get your tire fixed. The white man is going to buy you a very special gift for your birthday. The black man is going to disappear and call you after your birthday. The white man is going to be very impressed by your education and your personal accomplishments. The black man is going to be intimidated.
Let me know what you think. Take a look.
Okay. So what you see here is a black woman attempting to manipulate the dating market. Basically, what she's trying to do is she's trying to set a bar for black men by saying, you see, white men do it. And that's what collectively swirling is all about. They want you to believe that white men are doing whatever black women want them to do. And in order to compete with this group of men, you have to do whatever black women want you to do. If my tire is broken, I need you to fix it. There was somebody on YouTube, I'm not going to say his name. There was somebody on YouTube who got a call from a black woman who is also a YouTube content creator and saying, hey, I need you to fix my tire, send X amount of dollars. And it turns out that it was all part of a scam. So she is trying to butter black men up for this tire scam that they got going on. Hit the like button. Some of you who know. And you know that I'm spitting facts. Now, this plan of theirs is failed because white men just aren't checking for them like that. They're trying to play one against the other. It's kind of like if you say you work in entertainment, right? And you want to work for Marvel or you want to work for Disney Marvel, and you say, hey, look, I got a contract with Pixar, or I got a contract with, I don't know, I have a contract with another popular studio. I have a contract with Sony. And this contract says that they will pay me this, and this. And all I got to do is this. Can you match it? Can you match it? That's what they want. That's how you leverage a company. Now, the problem is that if we go back to my analogy, Sony doesn't have a deal. Sony isn't making them an offer. And that's the problem that black women face. They need white men to make an offer. They need white men to at least appear to offer fairy tale relationships. So black men will try to compete. And this is so black men will let their guard down. So they want that. And they also want to deal with other groups of men because, quite frankly, they don't have their guards up because they haven't did the tower scam on them yet. Over and over and over again. We're hip to their game because we grew up. I mean, our mothers were probably on the same crap and we've seen them do it to other men. So, we are hip to their ways. They're trying to look for a community that they could catch off guard. That's hard to do in the age of information. But, white people are less prone to watch black YouTube or black Twitter, so they might get away with it. And when I say white, I'm talking about just generally non-black people. They might get away with it. But this is all about black men. Now, I don't watch Love Island. I don't really know the details of this JeNa and Kenny situation. But I'm just going to go off of what's being said online. I'm going to play this one more time. I'm going to stop a couple times, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes.
You asked, what's the difference between dating some?
Okay, right off the bat, you can tell that she is a stereotypical black woman. At the bottom, she's kind of cute at the top. At the bottom, because for one, she is overly loud. That's a key giveaway. Like, whenever they have an opportunity to say, well, you want to know, but instead they say, you want to know what the difference is? They're loud because deep down, they have a thirst for attention. And early on in life, they made the correlation between volume and attention. So right off the bat, we know that she's on some Keisha stuff. That and the hair.
Black men and the white man? Well, the white man is going to call you and invite you out. The black man is going to text you. Good morning.
Okay, I meant to pause it and say that earlier she said some black men and black women. Whenever people are on that some stuff, it means that they always have arguments and they always revert to the not all thing. That's why they say, oh no, some, to prepare themselves for the not all counter argument that they always give, which is something that ignorant black people do all the time. I can't stand the not all It really shows poor debate skills.
Morning, beautiful. Hello, gorgeous. What you doing? The white man is going to take you to a very nice dinner and pay for it. The black man is going to ask you, what you cooking? Can I come over? The white man is going to take you to get your tire fixed and pay for it. The black man is going to tell you, you need to get your tire fixed. The white man is going to buy you a very special gift for your birthday. The black man is going to disappear and call you after your birthday. The white man is going to be very impressed by your education and your personal accomplishments.
Unless the interaction begins the moment the or unless her birthday is like a week or so before the relationship or the interaction begins, you're not going to be with her on her birthday. And that's because relationships with modern Black women don't last very long. If you start a relationship, and by relationship, I mean you actually just get her number and start calling her today, if her birthday is not August 20th, it'll be over by then. It don't last a year. If her birthday is July, it will not continue with that to even offer like a birthday gift or anything like that. But yes, they will find a white guy who gets with them like 2 weeks before her birthday and say, you know, my birthday's coming up. And he will give an extravagant gift. Relationships with women like this do not last long after the sex begins, after the post-nut clarity. It just don't. Hit the like button.
The Black man is going to be intimidated.
We know what you
Okay. And as far as the intimidated by education, very few Black men are intimidated by education. In fact, very few men are intimidated by education. And, well, I'm an educated man for one, but even without that, I really don't care. But the fact that you think about that you put that on the list means that you overhype it up. And because a person is annoyed by you overhyping it up, you just say, oh, you're intimidated. Well, no, you're actually trying to intimidate. You know, you're trying to weaponize it against someone, which is annoying, and people would rather not deal with that. But you write it off as intimidation because it makes you feel better about yourself. And it actually makes you feel like your degree is worth something. And to be quite frank, there is a overwhelming number of Black women who got the degree just for the sole purpose, because they damn sure didn't do it for the money because they have none. They got the degree for the sole purpose of attempting to intimidate someone. It's always interesting to me, and it's always funny to me when a Black woman mentions her degree and I don't mention mine, and she keeps like bringing it up, and then I eventually tell her because it comes up, and then the whole tone changed, because not only do I have a degree, I actually have a degree that's worth a damn, and I can obtain her degree a lot easier than she could obtain mine. In fact, she simply couldn't obtain mine. I can get a sociology degree a lot easier than she can get an engineering degree. Let's put it like that. Then the whole tone changed. And trust me, it don't change to my favor. It becomes clear like, oh, I can't put that feeling of inferiority in him. That way I can begin the relationship of superiority. Therefore, I'm skittish about continuing this relationship. That's what actually happens. So I do know how things would play out if I wasn't educated at all. And it's not fun, it's not pretty, and it damn sure isn't a result of the men's intimidation. Hit the like button. All right, so we're going to stop this screen share. All right, and we are going to take a listen to the most recent video and post of the lovely Ms. Shay Sharday. So let me just go into my history and we can get started on that. Let me know if it's choppy, if it gets choppy when I play it. All right, let's see. Shay Sharday always comes with the fire. Salute to her. And she always comes with the best edits. Okay, now, before we get started, take a look at the pose. Take a look at how the neck is done. And I'm talking about with the woman at the top with Jada. That pose is, first of all, at least in this picture, she is an attractive woman. And in every picture I've seen her, she has an amazing body. So let's start there. However, that pose does put women in a certain light, a favorable light. That is a practice angle. I've seen it so often that I have to say that there's something there. Like it's meant to contour or contrive or angle in just the right way. As we're going to see as this progresses, when we see her outside of this angle.
Missed it. Here's everything that happened yesterday around JeNa and Kenny's breakup. So everything kicked off with JeNa posting this statement, which was relatively just her acknowledging that, yes, they are officially broken up. But the thing that really set people off, this particular line, please know that I have seen all the breakup theories and none have matched up to how terrible, disgusting, and disappointing it truly is. Just a quick refresher, nearly all of the breakup rumors surrounded cheating. So I think everybody was like, what could be worse than that? Shortly after JeNa's statement, Kenny releases a statement with a completely different tone. Quote, sometimes despite how deeply you care for someone, you come to the hard truth that the relationship was not something that could last long term, which was very much giving amicable, we grew apart. JeNa was not having any of that though. She quickly responded, you not taking accountability and telling people the type of person you really are is insane to me. Girl, what are we talking about? Quickly after, Leah jumped in the chat, calling him a racist, clout, money-hungry scammer and calling him a clout demon in his comments. Serena even commented underneath JeNa's Instagram story and called him a racist as well. Kenny shortly took his story down, and Serena ended up posting, let's all remember this is not a show and someone's actual feelings. It may just be tea for y'all, but that's not the case for us, period. Now, JeNa's best friend Charmaine is in a...
Okay. This whole someone's actual feelings are involved, miss me with that. And that's because you went on a show. You didn't go to Love Island looking for love. Let's start there. You didn't go to Love Island thinking that this is where I'm going to meet my husband, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You went there because you wanted to be in a public relationship. And these are the results of a public relationship, the highs and the lows.
Private account, but someone on Twitter got access to the account and screenshotted what she put on her story. And she said, search keywords like I don't like Black women. I thought I would get more money from this. I'm faking this relationship. Going on the show would be for clout. Kenny, no, Kenny, please. Now, other castmates outside of PPG have also had a lot to say. We knew our Aussie Barbie was not going for any of this. She spoke out, screenshotting Kenny's original, now deleted post, saying, I can't even put into words how good of a person Nene is and how hard it's been to watch her go through this. Us too, Liv. Even Kendall.
Okay, I told y'all to tell me when it's buffering.
Serious.
Yeah, I got to do something about this StreamYard buffer. Bernard said it's my computer, but nothing else does this. So typically, what that means is I'll be buying a new computer just for the sake of StreamYards, which it's better to just get a new StreamYards. And I don't post often enough to really make it worth my while to get a new computer for that purpose. Nevertheless, this is annoying. Anyway, where was I going with that? So yeah, it's someone said something interesting in the chat, and that is the white man is tired of their stuff. Well, there's a number of things at play. Like I say, I don't know the particulars. This could be an instance of, she's code switching, and the her that she displays to the world is not the her in real life, which means that she's really on some neck rolling Keisha stuff in real life. And, she's playing a princess role in there because she's trying to, once again, revamp Black women's image. And not by being different, but by appearing different so they can scam a different demographic of men. That is possibly what's going on here. She's still part of the sisterhood and she's working on behalf of the sisterhood. She is and her role in the sisterhood is to promote interracial relationships for the reasons that I mentioned before, that it would be in a Black woman's advantage to do so, her strategic advantage against Black men. So she's still taking a part in this gender war against Black people. That's one scenario. Another scenario is she actually is sugar and spice and everything nice. And he is he is on some race stuff, which would mean that she knew at some point during the year that he was on some race stuff, and she tolerated it and continued to sleep with him while knowing that he was on this race stuff in order for the optics of it, which means that she sacrificed her own happiness for the sake of the gender war, meaning that she's not a good person. I can't think of a way that this can pan out to where, she's actually just a decent human being, unless she is sugar and spice and everything nice. And she, as soon as she found out about the race stuff, she ended it. I don't think that's the case. And then there is some other things, and I'm going to get into that when I go over to TikTok Reel, where they just show that he clearly isn't interested in her, and her over interest in him. Hold on. And her over interest in him is for race reasons.
Dancing and said, "Love you forever, Nene." My heart is breaking for her. To end this, let's just all keep in mind Serena's post. This is her actual feelings, and to find out that your partner of an entire year is a racist is mind-boggling.
Why are you crying? The part that's really getting me about this whole Kenny and JeNa breakup is everyone calling him racist. Like, what did he do?
Oh, gosh, this is annoying. Okay. So now we have some women here who are trying to defend Kenny. And of course, these are Black women. And the previous Black woman was just, in her bonnet, because that's their crown. And it's only their crown because, it's their way of protesting. Like, I do what I want in spite of what Black men want of me. It's a way of throwing up that they are part of the sisterhood. This one here, she looks like she is going to defend Kenny because they want the optics of it. Read what it says. It says, JeNa deserves her soft life. No, who deserves a soft life? The only life a person deserves is the life that they work for. And what work has she done at such a young age? Now, if this was a mother of 4 or something like that, and she, who deserves a soft life? Like, it's weird. But we could tell that this person who did this is deep into social media, and she's on that ish. She's on these, trigger phrases and words and stuff like that. Sprinkle, sprinkle, whatever it is.
Me so sad because JeNa went on the show with genuine intentions, and that girl really wanted to find love. It was obvious to anybody watching. And like, for him to spit on that like that is disgusting. And not only that, it's so sad to see that Black women just don't get a safe space in dating. Like, that is crazy.
Are you a safe space in dating? Is the question. Is a man safe dating Black women? Gonna repeat that. Are men safe dating Black women? For many Black women, far too many Black women, dating is a means to an end, and that end is rarely ever a good thing for the men that she's dating. This end could mean pregnancy and child support or welfare for her. It could mean divorce and alimony, child support and welfare for her. It could mean that she's just doing it for a free meal. It could mean that she's just doing it because she wants some of your time and attention with no reciprocity. Unfortunately, for far too many Black women, dating is what's called a zero-sum game. What's a zero-sum game? A zero-sum game is a game where there's no ties, meaning you either win or you lose. There is no draw. They look at dating as either the only way I can win is if the person I am dating loses. And if the person that I'm dating wins, it means that I lost. There is no win-win. There isn't a scenario to many Black women where both parties is happy in dating each other. That's just not how they view dating.
Like, for her to sleep next to this person every night, be dating this person, open up to them, be living her soft life with them, and him to be behind her back saying racial things about her is just like, why?
No, because you know what makes me sick to my stomach about this whole Jana and Kenny thing, right? He dressed up as Prince Naveen and she dressed up as Princess Tiana. He allowed them to do that as a couple, knowing what he was saying behind her back.
Hey everybody, today we're unpacking the highly discussed breakup between Janae Craig and Kenny Rodriguez from Love Island USA Season 6. But more importantly, we're also discussing what this situation reveals about the long and sometimes painful history of interracial relationships between Black women and non-Black men. The thing is, on social media, it's very popular to see Black women pedestalize, idolize, and promote interracial relationships with non-Black men, almost to assume that if a Black woman goods with a white man or a non-Black man, her life is going to improve. It's going to get better. She's going to have more money, more resources.
Yeah, it's not a subtle implication, Shay Sade. They just directly say that because that's the life that they're trying to sell. And they've been doing this for a while. It's just that the white men are not as receptive. It's unfortunate for Black women, but white men on a physical level just aren't feeling you that way. When you look at the features that white men look for in women, in their own women, like within the race, blonde hair, blue eyes, tall, leggy, stuff like that, the features that they seek are not features that Black women have in abundance. It's not. I would venture to say that they're probably the exact opposite of what they want. And that's from a physical standpoint, feature-wise. And then it doesn't help this whole swirling epidemic and the sprinkle thing, like stuff like that don't really help, because it just shows an influx of Black women who are semi-whores who are, seeking them. Because it's like, who wants to be seen as the guy who married the low-hanging fruit? Black women are cheapening themselves. They're selling themselves to white men at a discounted rate, which means that to white men, they will be looking at your wife as a discounted commodity. Once they start selling Gucci on the flea market, then the brand loses its value. Hit the like button. And that's what's happening to Black women. They're selling themselves in the flea market to white men. So the interest just isn't there, and it's not much that they can do about it except a complete overhaul of the image of their cultural image, and that's going to take time, and that's what they actually are trying to do. It's not going to work as long as the Black manosphere exists, which is unfortunate for them, which is why they hate us so much. But I don't care, because if your intention is to overhaul your image for the sake of others, then it's still a hostile attempt towards me. And, I don't really care, if someone's being hostile towards me. Hit the like button.
She's going to be treated like a queen, and her life is overall going to be better off. This is very, very, very common. But this situation is a reminder to us all that just because a Black woman dates outside of her race does not mean she is automatically going to be treated better. And it is moments like this that remind us all you really can't get caught up in the color of a person's skin or their race. You have to look at the person for who they are. Now, let's look into some of what we know so far. Janae unfollowed Kenny on Instagram and removed traces of the relationship. A source confirmed that was Janae's decision after nearly a year together. On July 29th, Janae posted that the relationship was terrible.
Okay. The buffering, y'all not telling, I told y'all to tell me if it's buffering. Y'all not telling me it's buffering, but I'm watching like people leave the room and I see the way StreamYard is behaving. So I'm gonna stop right here because this is annoying and y'all not helping. So here, let me do this. All right, give me a moment. It says this woman are cosplaying other races. Elaborate on that, if you will. Are you saying that they're cosplaying with other races, meaning that when they're with other races, they are pretending to be something that they're not? I mean, like, elaborate on what that means. People who look at me crazy, I don't know what that means. Somebody said, no, I want to have the video as well. Somebody said play it on my phone. I only need the audio. I want to play it on video as well, but it's pretty bad. Let me see. I'm gonna what I'm doing now is I'm trying to download it, so I'm not playing it on the internet. Maybe that'll speed it up. All right. Yeah, the video I'm about to send is about the blonde hair. Y'all gonna be surprised by this. Okay. Yeah, send it to my email. All right, so while that's downloading, I'll read some of your comments. Give me a moment. Imagine as a dark-skinned black man, I put on Justin Bieber's blonde wig, made a post about swirling, and act. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, they already established between the pro-blacks that it's okay for them to swirl, but interracial dating for black men is the worst thing you can do. It's the worst a man can get. They've already set that precedent. So right then and there, it's they've already, with that baseline, they can uptalk interracial dating as much as they want without criticism. But if a black man does it, Dr. Umar says, black queens, black kings or whatever, black queens forever, snow bunnies never, It's amazing how they can speak as if they're insecure about black men dating white women, and then at the same time promote swirling or interracial dating amongst black women with white men. And the reason that they do this, well, we already went over the reason, so I won't even like talk too much about that. We know what they're trying to do. Now, when you have people like me pointing out the pop the balloons and things like that, saying plainly like, there are actually black men available and you are popping the balloon because you don't like his shoes. Which means that you have turned down black men before you've gotten with these white dudes. And we're going to get into that with this particular situation. All right. But while I do that, let me see. Okay, hopefully this is better and I don't buffer as much.
So in case you missed it, here's everything that
All right, tell me if y'all have trouble hearing it. Here we go.
happened yesterday around JeNa and Kenny's breakup. So everything kicked off with JeNa posting this statement, which was relatively just her acknowledging that yes, they are officially broken up. But the thing that really set people off this particular line, please know that I have seen all the breakup theories and none have matched up to how terrible, disgusting, and disappointing it truly is. Just a quick refresher, nearly all of the breakup rumors surrounded cheating. So I think everybody was like, what could be worse than that? Shortly after JeNa's statement, Kenny releases a statement with a completely different tone. Quote, sometimes despite comes to the hard truth that the relationship was not something that could last long term, which was very much giving amicable, we grew apart. JeNa was not having any of that though. She quickly responded, you're not taking accountability and telling people the type of person you really are is insane to me. Girl, what are we talking about? Quickly after, Leah jumped in the chat calling him a racist, clout, money-hungry scammer and calling him a clout demon in his comments. Serena even commented underneath JeNa's Instagram story and called him a racist as well. Kenny shortly took his story down, and Serena ended up posting, let's all remember this is not a show and someone's actual feelings. It may just be tea for y'all, but that's not the case for us, period. Now, JeNa's best friend Charmaine is in a private account, but someone on Twitter got access to the account and screenshotted what she put on her story. And she said, search keywords like I don't like black women. I thought I would get more money from this. I'm faking this relationship. Going on the show would be for clout. Kenny, please. Now, other castmates outside of PPG have.
Okay. I'm going to stop right there for a second. He says he don't like black women. It's not really commonplace for any man. And maybe God-faced dudes are different and off-shirt dudes are different, but not in modern times. To exclude an entire race of women except under extraordinary circumstances. So for him to say, I don't like black women, really means that he don't like black women. It means that if given a choice between black women and any other woman on the planet, he would choose any other woman on the planet. That's what that means. And this isn't unique to him. In fact, it may be more prevalent under his kind. He's Dominican. But this isn't unique to him. This is something that you see just like amongst other groups of men. Okay, so you never really hear about many guys. Of course, there's the fetishers, but you never really hear about many guys traveling to Africa to meet the women. White guys typically go to Asia first and then Nordic or Slavic countries after. And of course, the Slavic countries is probably not the best place for them right now. But, you know, it goes Asia, you know, Northern Europe, and South America. That's the order. For Black men, it's South America, then possibly Asia, and then, you know, maybe like Poland or something like that. But Africa's last on the list. And for Black men, it's really the culture that Black women has cultivated for themselves that really makes them undesirable. For white men, however, it is it's the look. See, and this is going to sting, but it has to be said. And it's an ugly thing to say, but once again, it has to be said. If white men were really into Black women like that physically, there would be no African American people. We would be bred out. We would be bred out like within 3 generations. The first generation would look like Halle Berry. The second generation would look like Jasmine Guy, and the first and the final generation would look like Carmen Electra, and that would be it. We were here for centuries, and we still dark skinned. Like Wesley Snipes is still a person. I mean, that is how hands off they have been. Okay, if you really need more evidence or a better perspective, let's just reverse the continents. And let's just say the triangle trade went the other direction, meaning that it was Africa that colonized the Americas and Africa received slaves from Europe. First generation, like, ooh, white women. Second generation, ooh, light-skinned chicks. Third generation, ooh, she got that good hair. Fourth generation, they all Black, no more slaves. That's it. If a group of people own you as chattel property and they would rather have you chop sugar than work in the bedroom, it's because they're not that interested in you. I hate to put it in that perspective, but that's just the way it is.
Also had a lot to say. We knew our Aussie Barbie was not going for any of it. She spoke out, screenshotting Kenny's original, now deleted post, saying, I can't even put into words how good of a person Nene is and how hard it's been to watch her go through this. That's too good. Even Kendall, who we know takes nothing serious, posted a video of him and Janae dancing and said, love you forever, Nene. My heart is breaking for her. To end this, let's just all keep in mind Serena's post. This is her actual feelings, and to find out that your partner of an entire year is a racist is mind-boggling.
The part that's really getting me about this whole Kenny and Janae breakup is everyone calling him racist. Like, what did he do to earn that title? And it just makes me so sad because Janae went on the show with genuine intentions, and that girl really wanted to find love. It was obvious to anybody watching. And like for him to spit on that like that, is disgusting. And not only that, it's so sad to see that Black women just don't get a safe space in dating. Like, that is crazy. Like, for her to sleep next to this person every night, be dating this person, open up to them, be living her soft life with them, and him to be behind her back saying racial things about her is just like, why?
No, because you know what makes me sick to my stomach about this whole JeNa and Kenny thing, right? She dressed up as Prince Naveen, and she dressed up as Princess Tiana. He allowed them to do that with a couple, knowing what he was saying behind her back.
You know, it's amazing how comfortable Black women are going on camera undid up. You know how some women, they want to look their best before they get camera. They want to get camera ready. Many Black women just don't. They just like, here we go.
Hey everybody, today we're unpacking the highly discussed breakup between Janae Craig and Kenny Rodriguez from Love Island USA Season 6. But more importantly, we're also discussing what this situation reveals about the long and sometimes painful history of interracial relationships between Black women and non-Black men. The thing is, on social media, it's very popular to see Black women pedestalize, idolize, and promote interracial relationships with non-Black men, almost to assume that if a Black woman lives with a white man or a non-Black man, her life is going to improve. It's going to get better. She's going to have more money, more resources. She's going to be treated like a queen, and her life is overall going to be better off. This is very, very, very common. But this situation is a reminder to us all that just because a Black woman dates outside of her race does not mean she is automatically going to be treated better. And it is moments like this that remind us all, you really can't get caught up in the color of a person's skin or their race. You have to look at the person for who they are. Now, let's look into some of what we know so far. JeNa unfollowed Kenny on Instagram and removed traces of the relationship. A source confirmed that was Janae's decision after nearly a year together. On July 29th, JeNa posted that the relationship was terrible, disgusting, and disappointing, saying the reality didn't match any of the rumors online, but was actually much worse. Kenny followed up with a softer statement describing their time together as meaningful, but acknowledged that it wasn't sustainable long term. JeNa responded harshly on her story, calling him a manipulative liar, but not owning more accountability. Now, here's her public response. JeNa's Love Island castmates, particularly her close friends, pretty much sided with her. Many unfollowed Kenny on social media and shared scathing criticisms, calling him racist, clout chasing, and a scammer. Fans and fellow Islanders have overwhelmingly rallied against JeNa, making her public allyship a strong sign of solidarity and audience sentiment. A lot of this is just mostly speculation or assumed context based upon past beliefs. But instead of chasing the final blow, let's think a little deeper. This isn't just a breakup or another reality TV show or drama. Honestly, it reflects a long, painful history of Black women entering relationships with men who may carry anti-Black beliefs. Many racist men in history have used proximity to Blackness, sometimes through sexual relationships, as a way to build status, appear inclusive, or mask their prejudices. Take, for example, Jonas Jefferson.
Okay, I don't think that that's what he's doing. Shout out to Shay Sade. What she's saying is coming from a perspective of a person who don't have the sex drive towards women that men do. And men are willing to sleep with women that they are not really attracted to for sexual gratification. And this is an example of that. They are willing to get what they can from it. What is this on the screen? Because we just have the drive to do that, and she is good for that. But because it's a public relationship, he wants to get some more from non-Black women. He has to, he has to play the role. He has to, play the relationship role and hope that it ends on a positive note so he can begin his smorgasbord of his preference. And notice how they don't say that, how they like to shame Black men, like, oh, he's with his preference now. His preference. He wants his preference. But they never say that about white men. I mean, what's their preference? Well, their preference is what they are. His mama preferred his daddy and vice versa. That's their preference. That's how they were born. That's where you get more white people from. That's where you get more Asian people from. So, yeah, miss me with this whole, oh, that's their preference. We're the only people who are shamed for having a preference when it's obvious that the women have a preference. And we're definitely going to get into that.
One of America's founding fathers, he championed a mathematical system that calculated how interracial sex would breed out Blackness over generations. And while he had a sexual...
It would, but it didn't. So between 1776 and 1865, you had ample opportunity, and really prior to 1776, but you had ample opportunity to breed out. But the men just wasn't feeling the women like that. It's not like they were in a position to say no. Yeah.
Relationship with Sally Hemings, one of his slaves, for years, it's clear that his interactions with her were not based upon love. He treated Black women's bodies as tools for eugenics. So that historical reality illustrates how sex or dating outside of your race doesn't guarantee mutual respect or equity, and why allegations of racism in interracial couples aren't isolated incidents. Interracial couples, especially Black women dating non-Black men, are often idolized on social media.
That's lingerie. It's good and bad. There's a new thing, I guess it's a new style or something that women are doing. Here, I'll show you.
Or equity. And why allegations of racism in interracial couples aren't isolated.
There's this new thing that women are doing where they just wear lingerie as if it were clothes. In some cases it's good, in other cases it's bad, but it's overall bad in the sense that it shows a thirst for potential. It's sometimes good because I get to see more of their figure. No, actually it's just bad because I really don't want to see lingerie on women that I am not about to smash. Because subconsciously it makes me less excited when I do see lingerie on women that I am going to smash. Like when a woman takes her clothes off and you see something nice that you don't see all the time, then that is part of the arousal procedure. However, if you see it all the time, it'll be like, if a woman took her clothes off and underneath it was some overalls, it's like, well, I'm not turned on because I'm seeing something that I always see. It's better when lingerie is only seen when bow chicka wow wow is about to go down. That's just my opinion, but they're taking away all the meaning of it. She's just like, yeah, this is me in lingerie and I'm taking a picture with a guy with a Letterman jacket on.
Incidents. Interracial couples, especially Black women dating non-Black men, are often idolized on social media as aspirational. But JeNa and Kenny split reminds us glamour and objects don't always equal authenticity. I think these kinds of scenarios are just a reminder that we cannot get caught up in the social media propaganda. We may never know every detail of what happened between JeNa and Kenny, but the broader story is clear. Public support has largely rallied behind JeNa. More critical than each accusation is what this breakup reflects about long-standing patterns of racism masked through intimacy or interracial sex. And above all, never idolize interracial relationships just for their appearance or narrative, especially at the expense of the character and integrity of the person at large. But anyways, what do y'all think? What are your thoughts on this whole entire situation? Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening if you have gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there for a second, and I am going to download the next video. Apparently, that's one way to escape the buffering, and that's easy enough to do. It just takes some time, so I will do that because the buffering is where I lose people. So let me, why is it doing this? It's not one thing, it's another, I swear. Okay, so there's something else that must be shared, and this is going to be off topic for a bit, but since we were talking about Africa, I figured why not bring up those who are attracted to African women up, and let's just gauge a few things, shall we? Let's just gauge a few things about hot and not. Yeah, let's do this. All right, so let me just type in AUSTINHO. All right. Oh, it's ON. Okay. All right. And we're going to go here. So a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, there was something called Influencer U. I didn't really watch it much, but it was brought to my attention. And I thought it was a great idea. Hopefully it was successful money-wise, where I think it was DDG who used to be with, who's the baby daddy of Holly Bailey, where he just went on this, he just rented like a university out, I guess, and had like all the top influencers there. And, you know, they were all around Austin Holloman's age, and they were all like, you know, in my opinion, certified baddies, like Cooking with Kaya. She can get it. And I'm thinking like, that is what top influencers who are in their 20s is doing. It must be a great time to be an influencer in your 20s. Unless you're Austin Holloman. So while DDG, who's around the same age, is getting Disney princesses pregnant, this is what Austin Holloman is doing. I want y'all to stop and look at this. And I want y'all to never forget that this is a thing. That this is Africa. And black men need to go to Africa. And if I could be anywhere in the world, it will not be an influencer you, it would be Africa. Because here I get to put my hand on the booty of women that look like this. Oh, okay. Did I mention that she's from Africa? Dude, you are not selling this whole African passport journey thing very well. And this is you bragging. This is you bragging. What did the caption say? I remember it said something, but it's like, wow, this is your receipts, my dude. Like, this is what you traveled the world for on a magic carpet ride? Like, this is what you. I can show you the world. Like, this, wow. This is. I don't know what to say. This is why I'm sharing it with you all. I'm rarely at a loss of words, but here I am. I'm like, okay, y'all seen the stove girl, but this is she looks more like the woman who carried the stove into the apartment that I was in. Like, without a truck. She just like held it, like bear hugged it and walked it up the stairs. This is not an AI generator. You go to his thing. This is not like me AI generating something. So yeah, let's look at some more. I guess this one is okay, and okay. When they say at best, when like average at best, that's what we're talking here. I wonder how many men are saying to themselves, I flew halfway around the world for this. I genuinely wonder how many of these guys in this picture are saying that to themselves right now. I really am. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. I can't make this up. Now, this woman here is not with any of the guys because she's married. You can see the ring on her finger. So these guys are happy. Like, how did I spend my vacation? Oh, yeah, I wish I could show y'all my vacation pictures. And I'm not talking about the raunchy ones. How did I spend my vacation? Oh, I spent it with two other guys and the woman whose hair is shorter than the two other guys, who's married with a denim dress on. I'm telling you, once again, if the passport bros are selling a dream, what on earth are you selling? So far, I haven't seen anything that you haven't shown anything that made me want to go to Kenya. All right, says okay, so he went to brunch and laughs, and I guess this is the brunch and laughs that he went to, and that's that, and that's from back when he was a barber. Okay, so yeah, just thought I'd share that with you. Just thought that was something that you all wanted to see. Let me read some of your comments on that and see how you all feel. All right, give me a moment whilst I download this. Override and okay. Let's see what you have to say. It says Prime, I think. Shay, what's going on, Ray? He was better off in South America. Yeah, because apparently the only complaint he had in South America was some of the women preferred white guys, which is a problem that they have in Kenya too. And also, as I understand, he got robbed in Kenya. He got extorted from the police, and he said something about a Chinese baby that they was trying to put on him. And also, he has to pay a security guard now to walk around with in Kenya. But it's better than being preferred or having a woman prefer a white guy. I do not know what is up with Austin. I really don't. It's funny to watch. I have to say it is hilarious to watch. Like I wouldn't know that somebody like that exists. It's like, the way he prioritizes things. To have that need, to have that, to be so competitive that when you lose a competition, because that's how he's looking at it. Like the white dude was just looking at it as, okay, I'm going to go out, I'm going to, find some Latin beauties, and I'm going to get laid. But Austin was looking at it like, I want to get more than him because I spend more gym hours than him. And when he lost that competition, he's just like, he just had a fit, went off on Passport Bros, and then left the country. And wound up, taking the pictures that I just shown you. And he's happy as a peach because apparently these are the women that prefer him. I can't wrap my mind around the psychology behind that. But back to the topic at hand. All right. So, nope. All right, tell me if it buffers. Tell me if you have trouble hearing it.
It's just a little melodrama breakdown for all of my internet aunties.
So sad, and the worst part is no matter where she goes, people are going to look at her and just think of the situation, and that is so not fair. But for the past 48 hours.
Okay, so y'all saying no sound. Let me try this again. How did I do it last time? Because I swore I did entire screen.
So this is just a little melodrama breakdown for all of my internet aunties over 35 who really don't know what's going on.
Kenny's friends leaked their group chat text message in which he is calling JeNa the N-word. That is what this user is claiming. And it says his homeboy thought it was funny to leak their group chat messages and showed him calling his black girlfriend a N-word and laughing.
Like, I did not see that coming. I don't think a lot of us saw that coming, and my heart absolutely breaks for JeNa. The fact that she has to even deal with this publicly is just so sad, and the worst part, because no matter where she goes, people are going to look at her and just think about the situation, and that is so not fair to her. But for the past 48 hours, everyone's trying to figure out, what did Kenny do? What did Kenny do? JeNa's best friend just posted this. She said, "My advice for women in relationships: if you have access, go through your man's phone today. Search keywords like, I don't like black women. I thought I would get more money from this. I'm faking this relationship. Going on this show would be for clout. I can't wait to be done with this so I can F hella peace." What? This is absolutely.
Hey everyone! everyone, Chloe here, and welcome back to my Soft Power platform, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber to our feminine community, then hello and hi and welcome. So I wanted to share my hot take on this overall messy JeNa and Kenny situation that quite frankly is not surprising at all, because this messy situation has performative storylines.
She likes to do nipple peeks. I think that's what she's doing here. I don't know if that's a shadow or, you know, a bit of an areola, but it's not the first time I've seen her do that.
Hello and hi and welcome. So I wanted to share my hot take on this overall messy JeNa and Kenny situation that quite frankly is not surprising at all, because this messy situation has performative storyline secured, written all over it. Now, for those of you who have been rocking with this femininity platform since the beginning, you will already know that I'm pretty old school, so I am not the biggest fan of the time waster known as reality TV. And for the women who are a part of my inner circle or who have been influenced by my platform, and of course, how you decide to aura farm your energy is completely up to you, but I will always encourage women to invest their frequency into developing their cultural capital, because being a smart feminine woman will always be about getting a better return. Women insist on emotionally investing into these storyline secured fantasies and getting their hearts crushed and absolutely broken once the truth of who these men are kicks them square in the teeth and puts them in a very embarrassing blender. Now, not to be the fun killer, but reality TV to me is like what WWE wrestling is to men. It's messy, chaotic, full of melodrama, and is a guilty pleasure of...
I agree. Okay, let's take a look at this picture. I don't really watch reality TV like that. I had this girlfriend, and she used to watch a show called Bad Girls Club. And ever since then, so I would watch it because it was on in my house. But ever since then, because of the way that relationship ended, I started to see women who watch reality TV like that as a huge red flag. And it is a huge red flag. I'd never really seen an episode of Love Island, at least not that I know of. I know Rashida Strober has sent me links saying that we should watch it, but right off the bat, I'm looking at this, right? And I remember that there were complaints that the black girls always lose. And then when she wins, you know, they like to champion it and like, you know, you see, everybody loves black women. It's like, listen, you know, y'all lost like the last 10 seasons. You know, you can't really, you like the Cleveland Indians or something like you don't really win often. You know, stop saying that you're a winner when it seems like really they're just giving you like a participation trophy at some point because they're tired of seeing you lose and hear you complaining about losing. What I do notice about this particular lineup is that it's disproportionately black. Looks like about half the people there are black. Literally half the people there are black. There's 5 black and there's 5 white are not black, which means that this is some pandering stuff. Like, I mean, because we're not 50% of the population. And of course it is what to be expected, you know, a bunch of God face off shirt men and women.
Distraction, and I get it. With wrestling, it is all a fake storyline to give men the ability to channel their testosterone. And with shows like Love Island, it gives women a place to have their desirability fantasies validated. But the thing about the reality TV dynamic that no one often talks about is that it is a business. And with a business, the mantra will always be no business, no show. So in reality, with very few exceptions, the talents that tend to sign up for these shows are very much performative actors, and unfortunately, being embarrassed or humiliated is the risk that these women take when signing up for these reality shows for a career. The casting directors and the producers are not thinking about representation and optics, and they are not thinking about how your heart can be shattered into 1,000,001 pieces. The main objective of these productions is for profit entertainment and to not create a boring product. So as a result, they want drama, they want pre-humiliation, and they want post-humiliation, and they want chaos because that is what sells. And once the waivers are signed for a check, it is game on. So with that being said, Love Island as a business strategy has definitely hit a lick and has most certainly pandered to Black women, to darker toned Black women who are very large consumers of these kinds of shows, only to turn around and to soft humiliate them with these nasty off.
So just so y'all know, remember what I said earlier about those of you who were here, I said earlier about that whole neck back, chin down angle that they do. She looked a lot better with that angle. Look at this right here. I don't even know if that's the same woman.
Black women, to darker toned Black women who are very large consumers of these kinds of shows, only to turn around and to soft humiliate them with these nasty off-camera breakups such as JeNa and Kenny. And now we are finding out that this slime called her all types of N-words behind her back. And like I've said in many of my other videos, and I do not care if saying this makes me the villain, and you can go argue with the wall, but I am...
Okay, by the way, this is a YouTuber named Chloe who's doing this, CHLOE. If she didn't know, because there are a lot of Black women who will tolerate being called the N-word as long as they can maintain the optics. If she broke up with him the first time that she found out that he used the word behind her back, then I don't really hold that against her. I don't. Which means that I really don't have any problem at all with JeNa.
I'm so tired of the endless TikToks and the sad as HE double hockey stick free pedestalized promotion that Black women give these men of other races and other cultures and other cultural dynamics to make them feel as if they are the prize when they haven't earned it. Because quite frankly, this promotion has caused men from the gutter into thinking that they are better than Black women. This unearned promotion is very duping and very goofy and very damaging to the collective of...
I watch Chloe from time to time. In fact, am I subscribed? No, I'm not even subscribed, but I do watch her show from time to time because that's how strong she is in the algorithm. She has over 100,000 YouTube subscribers, and but she kills it. She kills it. They are over promoting white guys to spite Black guys, but you know what they're doing because they think it's hurting Black men, and I guess it is, but they're hurting themselves a lot more. Which really shows where their priority is. You know, they will rather cheapen themselves if it means cheapening Black men a little bit.
Black women's self-esteem and the Black woman's image, and it makes Black women look very thirsty and very mentally unstable creatures who are allergic to common sense when we hand out unearned praise. And this unearned praise is definitely not doing our collective femininity any favors when we are aggressively drooling over men who do not go out of their way to drool over you. This unearned promotion without a lack of vetting is the same reason why Rachel is paying alimony to a reality TV clown who made significantly less money than her. So what ends up being a so-called harmless form of entertainment ends up turning into real life.
Okay, so apparently this is a trend. During these reality shows where all the world is watching, and really when I say all the world, you know, I'm talking about all the sisterhood is watching. You know, they're doing their whole gang symbol to the sisterhood by throwing themselves at the non-Black guy, because that's what's happening. You know, it's not like the guys are throwing themselves at these women. It's the other way around. And when that happens, it cheapens the brand, but they are hoping to invoke a sense of jealousy in me. It's like, listen, you're not really invoking jealousy into me. You're just invoking, like, you're cheapening yourself. And then it ends in humiliation and alimony, apparently. Shout out to Halle Berry.
Hurtful consequences and a real life humiliation ritual. And with Love Island, it appears that Black women as a ratings strategy are being used for their thirsty eyeballs or as a fake love performative meal ticket to a finale, only to find out that these relationships are either phony, fabricated, super forced, or used for clout to build or launch careers. And sadly, Ms. JeNa and her grand opening, grand closing relationship was sleeping with the enemy and with a man who faked it for an entire year. And to see this beautiful woman, this absolutely stunning woman, being post-production humiliated by this slime is absolutely shameful and heartbreaking. Now, ladies, when a man is not into you, dare I say that the signs are always there. Women just choose to ignore them because they don't want egg on their faces.
That is true.
Even worse when the man is of another race or another culture, because then there's that added pressure to prove to the world that not only are you desirable to other races of men, but there is also that added pressure to prove that you can actually make it to the altar and live happily ever after.
That is true. Black women are under that pressure, so they are willing to make desperate compromises in order to complete that narrative. They are desperate to push that particular narrative, that particular agenda. And once again, it goes back to trying to up their reputation at the, at the sake of Black men's reputation, which is what they've always done. Now, somebody said Chloe, a Black woman, she was a YouTuber. Let's see. This is an anti-Black man. I remember her channel like 5 years ago, talking down on Black men, encouraging Black women to divest. Probably, I do know that even Crystal and Karen, like they eventually realize what they're doing when they, because divesting is a promotion of two things. It's a promotion of leaving Black men, and it's a promotion of investing in another group of men. This is not like the female version of MGTOW where they're not investing in any man. They are not investing in one group of men and over investing in another group of men. And the problem is that other women are already invested in those groups of men. Therefore, and those men aren't really investing in them like that. Therefore, they wind up cheapening themselves. I think that once they reach that realization, Chloe, much like Crystal and Karen, they change their tone.
And unfortunately, the reality show aspect just turns everyone into this mechanical performative robot for a check. And it just makes everyone just act very fake and phony for a come up or to get to the finish line for clout. And ladies, never ever underestimate how far a person is willing to go to build a starter kit for their careers. So ladies, you don't need signs of when a man is phony when you know how to vet. So the lack of hypergamous vetting is the core issue here, because a man who is into you will give you his all, and his all includes his wallet. But generally, if you don't have a ring within 6 months to a year, then...
Okay, so she's on some stuff that I don't agree with. But let's continue.
You know the drill. You're someone, but you're not the one. And if a man is not making you feel loved and invested in, then that is not your husband. Simples. So that is all that I have to say on this for now. Kenny can go to the lower levels of hell. Ms. JeNa will be okay, and hopefully she will learn from her mistakes, because mistakes are the cost of becoming wiser. But to get this conversation started, do you believe that these relationships are real, or are they just work opportunities where people are pretending to be in love? Are reality shows bad publicity for Black women? And do you want to be with a man if you have to go all up and down through his phone? And as always, I thank you for liking, for subscribing, and for sharing the videos to further grow this platform. And please stay tuned for more videos to come. And I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers and your hustlers in the next one.
I guess I'm the latter.
Now, I said that back when she was in the villa and y'all drugged me for it. The reality is that they're two different people. Not to mention, she was in the Kenny more than Kenny was in the her. Okay, and this is the toxic side of the Black women glow up. Okay, pouring their own to a man only for.
Okay, that kind of tells it. Once again, I don't watch the show, so I'm getting the perspective from them. But I suspected that she was more into him than he was into her. And considering that all these reality shows is like a competition, he probably was the loser of the competition. And, like he needed the validation, and the other women probably wasn't checking for him as much as the other men. That's what I'm like kind of piecing together. But she just threw it at him. In other words, she was the lowest hanging fruit.
them to do what? Cheat. Unfortunately, I think that Janae was way into Kenny more than Kenny was into her. And at times it felt the relationship was kind of performative. I think she really loved him, deep loved him. She would have married him tomorrow if she could, but Kenny was just not that into her. And it's hard for us to recognize that he just wasn't, okay? But they're also age different lifestyle wise, and the pressures of the show. I think being that Villa bubble does something where there's no pressure, nobody in DMs, no marketers, no money dangling in your face. It's just you and that person. But once you're out of the villa, it's the pressures of media, money, influence, pressure. And that show really gave her a bad edit. At times, it felt like he didn't want to deal with her. He wanted space. But instead of communicating that this isn't working.
Well, I do think that also, race thing aside, I do think that he wants to be a player. Okay, to fully understand, and this is for you 34 and unders, who social media was always really a part of your life since puberty. To understand what fame does to increase a man's sex life. I want y'all to picture a time before YouTube and before all that. I want y'all to picture like the 90s, right? I had a friend who went on, it was like Ricky Lake or Jenny Jones, one of those white women who do a show about, who do like an Oprah style talk show. This particular episode was about regular people that look like celebrities. So they had like a Tyra Banks lookalike and, you know, people like that. And he went on this show, not because he looked like anybody, but because he was just there as a support friend to a family member that looked like Puffy or Mace. And that was his whole thing. That was it. And just by sitting on that show, he received a tremendous influx of box. Not that he had problem getting it before. So for a guy to actually, you know, do sit-ups every day and work out like a beast and stuff like that, he's really not, that's really not signs of somebody who's looking to settle down. It's not, you know, you don't kill it in the gym and become famous and go on Love Island. So, you know, all the women who are at home flicking their bean to your abs, you know, will just watch you get married. No, you're doing that because you want an influx. You want an influx of box that fame, fortune, and a good workout routine will provide you. And he knew he wasn't going to get it, being constantly tied to her. So the relationship was doomed to fail for that reason.
Working for me, I want to be a regular guy. I'm not into the limelight. I love it for you, baby, but I love it for myself and be secure enough to let her do her thing and you be back here. It was the pressure of them as a couple, two people together. They come as a package deal. And sometimes in relationships, you need some differentiation. You need to be like this sometimes. You don't always gotta be like this. But when you're a package deal, at times it's exhausting. And I think Kenny should have had a voice where he could have said, hey, this isn't working for me. I love you, but it ain't working. All right. But instead, he cheated, allegedly. He got caught up in all that, maybe the money, the glitz, the glamour, that all the attention he had never gotten before. Another thing, he's a late bloomer. Okay, he's a late bloomer, and she's somebody who is a star. And she needs someone who will have her star be appear and appear and appear, and you as a man are comfortable to be down.
I didn't know she was a star. We don't live in a day and age of stars anymore. And that's because of social media. You know, there aren't many like stars. that didn't exist before social media. Like Brad Pitt is a star, Leonardo DiCaprio is a star, but these are people who existed before social media. There aren't really any new stars, and there's a reason for that, and that's because, you know, people's attention isn't focused on one individual, one breakout individual. However, the collective of smaller entertainers like myself, meaning that they know the names of hundreds of people that entertain them instead of being focused on one super entertainer. So the days of stars is over, and I don't know who the heck this woman is. And this isn't just an internet phenomenon. This is the fact that I have 250 channels phenomenon. Like back in the 80s, we had 5 channels and one fuzzy one. 6 if you count PBS. So if somebody was to appear on one of these channels, we would know them and we would remember them because, you know, that's that person. It's not the case any longer. You know, there's streaming apps and stuff, and you see somebody, you know, on one show, and then, you know, you switch and it's like, ooh, look at this one. So your attention is divided. My point is that I don't know this woman, and she's not a star. Neither is he. If it wasn't for this drama, I wouldn't even know anything about either of them, to be perfectly honest with you. And after this show, I'm not going to remember their names. I could promise you that.
Here. But too many times you see Black women evolving, thriving, doing the damn thing, only for what? To be hurt by somebody who...
What is she doing? Okay, so this woman is part of the problem. If she feels that being on a reality show is doing the damn thing. Shout out to Bella Rings. Bella Rings is doing the damn thing. Shout out to Danica Marie. Danica Marie is doing the damn thing. Shout out to Brienne. Brienne is doing the damn thing. What in the world is she doing? Besides poking her fake tits out and showing her relationship. Like, you was on a reality show a year ago, and now you're just trying to show off the good life as a result of it, which is now over. So it's your 15 minutes of fame was over, and you're trying to stretch it by showing like the residual relationship afterwards, and now that's over. And she's a star. Like, does she sing? What in the world? Yeah, taking pictures on TV with makeup, that's doing the damn thing. Like, you could put makeup on, but, you know, you're a Black woman.
who isn't to their caliber.
All right, so that happened. Now we're going to go into a particular TikTok post, which really highlights something that I feel is wrong in this situation. Because like I say, I really wouldn't have anything against her if it wasn't for what I'm about to show you all. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. All right, so is it here? Where's that link? Here we go. All right, this one may buffer a little bit because I can't download it. All right, tell me if it buffers or if you have problems with audio.
Guys, we need to talk because Josiah from Love Island season 6, who was matched up with Janae, and he was a Casa Amor guy, has now spoken out about.
The camera really catches her at bad angles. If a woman's body is on point everything else just falls into place. But this is not a good angle for her. Or maybe this is just how she looks. And all the other angles were good angles.
The JeNa and Kenny breakup. Let's see what he has to say.
It was a whole year ago. Please stop hitting me up about this JeNa situation. I hope that she heals in peace and everything is okay with whatever she got going on. But only hit me up regarding real estate, you know.
And then he goes on to say that a year ago, when he was actually with JeNa, he had written her a letter saying that like he was tired of the men acting like they weren't interested in her for just her, and that he feels like the guys just like don't like Black women and like that.
Okay. So I don't know this guy. I really didn't watch Love Island season 6. But from what's being described here, he is a panderer. He was pandering to her. I'm tired of guys not liking her for her. What is it about her that they should like? If they don't like her, why would you assume that's about race? Or, you know, like, has she displayed qualities that the other guys should like? And if so, then you should like her because she has those qualities and you are not against going out with Black women. So it seems like you all the way loyal and down for the cause. Let's see what that got you.
That's not cool. And JeNa and him really bonded over that. And like they had a really great day after that. But also, guys, like, let's actually talk about this.
So him and JeNa bonded after that and they had a really good day. Okay. Looks like Kenny had a really good year with her.
I've been getting a lot of comments like this also on my Coy post, being like, oh my God, JeNa should pick Coy. She didn't like Coy though. She didn't like him. He didn't speak. Like, why would she pick him? Also, like, she should pick who.
From what I've seen, Kenny didn't speak either.
She wants. JeNa is the prize. She didn't want Josiah. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, oh no, go get JeNa. No.
JeNa is not the prize. Kenny was the prize.
She did not want him. And also, for her to be happy right now, it doesn't mean that she needs to go and get into another relationship. Also, she should be with someone she likes. There's not a scarcity of men out there. Okay, so she doesn't need.
Oh, it's not? Because according to Black women, we're all in jail or gay or dead. There are more Black women out there than Black men, and there's scarcity, and that's why we date out and blah, blah, blah. Rah, 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 rah. We've all heard that. See, that's the lie. This woman is telling the truth. There isn't a scarcity, and this woman can have a man anytime she wants to. So, fellas, if you invest yourself or you behave, you go to Black women because you think that that you're going to find a group of women who is desperate and loyal, you will find yourself the way this jawline or this God-faced nigga has found himself. And that is disappointed. That is left out. You after her out of loyalty, and she went to somebody. That's you. Dr. Umar, are we learning? That will be you. That is what race loyalty gets you. You are loyal to someone that is disloyal. You're loyal to someone who's loyal to someone who's not loyal to her. You was pining over a woman who gave up the box for a year to a possible racist. That will be you.
To go back to like the Love Island stomping grounds and pick people that she didn't even want in the first place, you know? So like, let's stop this whole like, oh, she should be with Coy. Oh, she just, no.
Black women do not promote Black love. You can see this in this woman's whatever.
Let her heal, let her live, and she will, and when she's ready, she will find the man of her dreams, okay? She does not need to go back to Love Island's scraps.
That's you. I didn't watch the season of Love Island, as I mentioned before, but what if a white woman was into him, but he wanted to keep it real and be with a sister? What did that get him? Say if on Love Island, a white woman was into him, and they probably were. He was into her, and she was into the white guy. And who got left out of that cycle? Who got the short end of the dick? JeNa. That's who.
I know everyone is up in arms about the Dale and Kat conversation on the last episode of Bachelor in Paradise, but I don't really feel like he did any.
Okay, this chick just talk about women who are hotter than her all day. I'm gonna stop right there, and I'm gonna see what else is on the Jenny and Kenny thing. All right, here we go. Let's see what she has to say on it.
You guys, if you genuinely love me, if you genuinely care about me and want to help me heal, I'm begging you, please leave Kenny's family alone. That family did nothing wrong to me. They were nothing but kind. Everyone I ever met always defends me, always stood up for me. Do not go to their house. Don't go to their jobs.
Okay, I stopped watching it because I don't really mess with his family.
When Janae says this. See, that man never liked her.
And that's the impression I'm getting.
Y'all, look at Kenny's face when Janae says this.
Shut up, Kenny. You manipulative liar. I'm trying hard not to.
I'm sorry, but did y'all see the trailer for Kenny's new movie? What does this man think this is? Apparently he's going.
You know, I'm gonna stop. Okay, full disclosure, I just give the title Godface to people who are on reality TV shows like Love Island, because I'm assuming that they just cherry pick Godface people to put on the shows. But I'm starting to question that, because he reminds me of the guy from New York Undercover that is not Makai Yoba.
Going live on YouTube to break his silence, as if we needed another explanation to the.
We now have a massive update on the JeNa and Kenny breakup, and not only has Leah responded, but after what just happened, this entire breakup just got so much more messier. And not only have JeNa, Serena, and Leah, as well as Miguel and Cordell, so far have all unfollowed Kenny, and even JeNa herself has unfollowed Kenny. Meanwhile, Kenny still follows JeNa, as well as he still has posts up from last night's David Dobrik birthday party, and this is where it gets so much more worser. Not only have these two wiped each other completely off of their Instagram pages, removing every picture that they had and deleting each other from their bios, and now not only has Leah responded to this breakup, someone commented, "Leah, my queen, tell JeNa we don't play about her, we love her." And Leah said, "We don't either." And this is where it gets so much more insaner. A lot of people were speculating that this was a cheating scandal after at David Dobrik's birthday.
Wait a minute, is this Leah chick with a black dude?
Where it gets so much more insaner. A lot of people were speculating that this was a cheating scandal after at David Dobrik's birthday party, Kenny was holding his phone the entire time, and while they were slow dancing, he was literally checking it, as well as that he just doesn't look that into her. And now somebody said that there was allegedly a massive situation at the David Dobrik birthday party, and that Jana found out everything, and now neither of these two have responded yet. Are you Team JeNa or Team Kenny? We now have a massive update on the JeNa and Kenny breakup, and it just got so much more. Not only has Leah responded, but after what just happened, this entire breakup just got so much more messier. And not only have JeNa, Serena, and Leah, as well as Miguel and Cordell, so far have all unfollowed Kenny, and even JeNa herself has unfollowed Kenny. Meanwhile, Kenny still follows JeNa, as well as he still has posts up from last night's David Dobrik birthday party, and this is where it gets so much more worser. Not only have these two wiped each other completely off of their Instagram pages, removing every picture that they had and deleting each other from their bios, and now not only has Leah responded to this breakup, someone commented.
Okay, so apparently Leah is with this guy here who is at least half black. But it don't seem like this relationship got the same attention that the other relationship has, because a white woman making a black man happy is nothing new under the sun. But the opposite happening is, and that even failed. Just saying. Hit the like button.
It seems like we finally have confirmation on what that insane evil text JeNa found on Kenny's phone that ended their relationship really said. And it's worse than we could have ever imagined. He's pure evil. Plus, the season 6 cast keeps on coming out and roasting him into oblivion. Let's discuss it all. The circumstances behind their mysterious and nasty breakup are now very clear, as JeNa previously hinted that what he did was not cheating. It was actually even more disgusting, more devastating, and more terrible. And after the rest of PPG called Kenny a narcissist and racist and a clout chaser, one of JeNa's best friends from home, Charmaine, this is me.
So these chicks are filtered?
Proving that they're best friends, finally showed us what he said in that text. She said, "My advice for women in relationships, if you have access, go through your man's phone today and search keywords like," and then said what Kenny.
So in case you missed it, here's everything that happened yesterday.
Bananas lately, but what's my favorite fruit?
Watermelon?
No.
Kenny does. Especially like having a child, because you gotta take care of it, you gotta take it for walks, you gotta make sure it's fair.
Playhouse. Because let's not forget I have 4 kids. I think it's like a dance. Anytime.
Alright, I was about to beat. So
I'm done
Valerie,
telling you to put your seatbelt on. I'm done telling you to put your seatbelt on.
Valerie. You guys, I'm killing it. And Kenny. Give me your hand. Come on.
You should let them.
Does Kenny like you? Kenny, do you like me? This bitch. Does Kenny do you like me?
That's such a hard question to answer.
Kenny. You open the door for everyone but me.
Oh
my God.
How are your hearts?
Oh. That last one was cold. The other ones was just like, that last one was cold.
You're like, holy shit, man, I just got off the fucking. We asked that question to everyone.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw Kayla yesterday, so I guess it was up there. My heart rate was up there.
Okay.
Oh, don't get in trouble the first 5 minutes.
Bananas lately, but what's my favorite fruit?
Kenny just made a post on his YouTube account saying, "Breaking my silence." And before I spill the tea, like and follow for more reality TV news updates. So it took me a minute to confirm if this is Kenny's actual YouTube account, because this is not connected to any of these other pages. And it definitely gave like just random like rage bait a fan would post. Really just this old clip of Kenny, it looks like. And then this clip that says, "Tomorrow, Monday, spilling the tea, breaking my silence" typo. I wasn't sure if it was.
Okay.
Man, that JeNa and Kenny situation, bro, just proves sometimes your partner be your biggest op, bro. Ain't no way, dude. Ain't no way you play that acting, bro, for a year, bro, just so you could get some clout, or you didn't want people to see you as a bad person. I don't know, man. I can see through BS, you know what I mean? I can see when somebody's really about it or not. And it's the same thing with the Brian and Amaya situation. You know what I'm saying? But I could have seen that miles away, bro. Sometimes.
The alleged text messages that led to JeNa and Kenny's breakup have been released, and at this point, Kenny needs to be removed from Beyond the Villa, and fans need to mass unfollow him because what he wrote is horrifying. So in case you missed it, JeNa took to her IG story yesterday to release her official breakup statement, saying that she's seen all the breakup theories and none match.
So the chat room is saying something interesting, and I agree that no one is actually saying that he said something racist, or no one actually is showing receipts that he said something racist, that he dropped in bombs.
I'm 24.
24.
Yeah.
You're a baby.
Don't answer. At the end, I went in for a kiss and I didn't get what I wanted, but I mean, she doesn't.
Okay, so she's older than you. All right. Oh, crap. If a woman calls you a baby, then what are you, a mother? Like, why would you get with a woman who calls you a baby? I mean, outside of the obvious reasons. And she probably, I don't know how old she is. She obviously had some work done, but yeah, I don't think that he wants to spend his 20s with a woman who calls him a baby. He wants to be with a woman that he calls baby and she calls him daddy.
Have anyone next to her in bed, like.
You're Dominican?
Dominican, yeah, 100%.
100% Dominican.
Rich boy is only here for clout. Oh. Nah, surely.
Kenny. Why? The boy I would like to couple up with is Kenny.
Yeah, they got a point. He doesn't look happy about this. Let me just see. Let me just see who she shut down.
Kenny.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't look happy.
At least we're compatible. Is that not the best feeling ever?
That's a good feeling.
Yeah, dude.
I spend 90% of my time here with her. The goal was to spread my arms and reach out.
You need to fly. Fly away, my king.
What the hell is that? So people who watch the reality shows, what was that? Why is he grabbing a suitcase?
I'm 24.
24.
Yeah.
You're a baby.
Okay. So yeah, it does seem like she threw herself at him and he wasn't really feeling her, but it really don't seem like he had a choice because like she picked him out of a lineup. Yeah, it seems like it was a lady's choice situation and he just couldn't break out of it. Kenny is what y'all thought Jeremiah was. Reality show talk. I don't remember him being this scary looking. Okay. Y'all remember how Hans played? No, I don't. The way he looks at her is actually scary. Well, yeah, because they focus in on certain negative looks and then put it in slow motion. The flying to casa is wild. Okay. It was not that obvious. All right. I thought it was going to be something insightful there. Already seen this. Okay, I'm gonna because it's playing music, so I'm gonna just go.
Go suck a dick and get off our motherfucking click,
Okay.
bitch. Big back delusional ass.
So yeah, I'm gonna stop there because we're about to hit the 2 hour mark. All right, I'll read some of your comments and then I am going to shut down because this reality TV, I like to stay away from it, and now you see why. I remember at school, even if you look like a celebrity, that made girls want you. Yeah, yeah. In college, there was a guy that looked like I had a friend that looked like Tay Diggs, and you know that got him what he got him, and yeah. Okay. Congratulations. Moved to Hawaii in 2020, so Dallas is probably more expensive now. Okay. I don't. Okay, y'all talking about housing. Let's move past that. Let's see. Okay, well, let me go up. So, are y'all doing that because of Austin and you know that whole escapade with him? The African Party. Okay, yeah. Let's see what this conversation is about. I don't know what to say about Austin. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've already said what I have to say about him, but and the reason I'm not just going at him to go at him. You know, remember when we first started out, I was on his side, like most everybody, but you know, he just turned on the Passport Bros. So, meaning that he don't have a sense of brotherhood. So why should one have a sense of brotherhood towards him? And that's it. That's all. Like, why would we have a sense of brotherhood towards somebody who attempts to throw the Passport Bros under a bus the first chance they get? And now you, and this is what you throw them under the bus for. What happened to that last Austin stream? You talking about the stream I did about him? I put it on members only. Become a member. Support your channel. Yeah, he's pulling all the Beckys after this one. Well, I don't know because I think that any progress that he made from being on the show is negated because now he's canceled. So, you know, he lost all opportunity at liberal white women. So, which is a large percentage of women in that age bracket. And conservative women probably just aren't feeling him that way. So, yeah, I think that he lost traction. He's probably worse off. Dirk, now is Sky, seemed to luck out with his black wife. Well, let's look that up. I don't know who he is. And once again, nothing is wrong with interracial dating, whether it's black, white, or anything in between. Nothing is wrong with that. The swirling, however, is that. So whoever this Dirk guy is, because he's not famous, he's not weaponizing it, which means that this is just a standard interracial relationship, which means that, you know, it has a propensity to possibly work just like any other relationship, you know, to work or fail. But because they're not doing it to spite any groups of people, and the relationship is likely more focused on each other, then yeah, chances are it will work. Now, this phenomenon of throwing themselves at other races is not new. I always refer back to this video. This is an oldie but goodie that I'm going to share with you before I go. Hit the like button. Theo said Austin lost it. Well, at his age, he probably never had it. Like, he never had it to lose. You know, he's in chronic competition with other men, and that's clouding his higher sense of judgment. But, oh, by the way, because I don't think Theo was here. If he was, he wasn't in the chat room. Let me just show you what brought Austin to my attention now. All right, so I'm going to go back to his community tab. And post. Now, I want to share this with Theo because he's a fellow traveler. And actually, Theo, I want you to give a 1 through 10 for me as a traveling brother, as a perhaps even a man that classifies himself as a passport bro. If you don't mind giving me a quick 1 through 10 on this. Or if you don't want to give a number, just tell me, does this make you want to go to Africa? Oh, you gave her a 2. Okay. Does this make you want to go to Africa? Because I know you like Slavic women, and you know you like Latin American and Asian women. But does this make you say, "Huh, I want to see what them African girls are like"? But this is what he's bragging about. This is what, once again, if passport bros are selling you a dream, what the hell are you selling? If passport bros are selling you a dream, what in the hell are you selling? All right. So I can't find it. I can't find this. This Asian dude says, hold on. Hold on. So there's this guy, his name is Crispy Khan, but I don't know how to spell Khan, who years ago was talking about how thirsty black women were. And he broke it down better than anybody. Hold on, let's see. Maybe it's Kahn or... Somebody says Swirl is taking mad L's. I mean, they've been taking L's since the beginning. Look at Crystal and Karazin. I mean, Crystal and Karazin, she went from, you know, oh, yes, I'm so happily married, and then get divorced. And then, you know, she had a white dude call her the N-word. And now she's, you know, trying to swirl her liposuction 50-plus-year-old box around, hoping for somebody to find it so she can, you know, claim some relevance. And now she's just giving up on the whole... now she's just giving up on the whole swirl of things altogether. Hold on. So yeah, the whole movement is an L because they're missing the one thing that it requires, and that is white men or non-black men participating in that. I mean, it requires that. I mean, it requires other groups of men to offer them a better deal than what black men is offering. And that's what they're not getting. Even the relationships that they do get into, these are women that could have had an access to an equally eligible black man, if not greater than. All right, so here's her channel now, and I'm going to show you how she changed her tune from the whole girl that swirls. Modern women are begging men to return, but here's why they won't. So now she seems like she's trying to move into the red pill direction. Why are conservative women happier than liberal women? Can black men date interracially and still speak on black women? I might click that one. Joining my fellow staffers. So now she's sounding more like Dennis Sperling and less like the girl who swirls. The epidemic of women giving bad advice. You mean like what you've been doing for the past 20 years of your life and writing books on it? The career threatening secret life of, okay, let's see. Blake Lively ruined her career over this. Now she's just talking about like random white women. The truth about my life, career, my mistakes. Now I did a video on this. This was 6 months ago. So she has even went in a completely different direction to where she's no longer just on some, I'm going to, promote this, this lifestyle. Like you see here, a year ago, she was on some, what it's really like to date an Italian man. And then she moved away from that. Black love is hard to get. New study proves it. Yeah. So she's obviously moved away from that because she realized it's a failed venture. Let me see what this is about.
Can I say the quiet out loud? Go ahead,
Go ahead. Jess is working on it. She's a little bit more feisty.
Whatever.
You
I
said
think
it takes
that-
the right one, Anton. That's it.
I think that two things can be true at the same time. I think that if Black men in particular can find someone who they love that is non-Black, but still have an opinion about how Black women behave, right?
Obviously.
I'm in an interracial relationship. I have an opinion. I think that both things can be true. I think that just in general,
She's not too bright. We know that you think that. You said it a couple of times. I think that two things can be true at once. I think that Black men can have an opinion, who date interracially can have an opinion on white women or on Black women. And I also think that Black women who date interracially can have an opinion on Black men. So that's a long-winded answer to say yes. Can Black men date interracially and still speak on Black women? The answer is yes. That's all you have to say.
a lot of frustration from both the genders. Like the men, I gotta be honest here, there was one point where I felt like the concerns that they brought up were kind of illegitimate until
When you say one point, you're talking about your entire adulthood minus the past 6 months.
I actually heard women open their mouths and say the things that I've heard them say.
You're talking about the things that you have said. When you was on the stream with that, I think it was Nick's Archduchess, suggesting that they abort Black boys.
Over the last 2-3 years, like
It was longer than that, sweetie.
Since COVID, it changed my mind. I honestly thought women were.
You haven't changed your tune because of COVID. You were still on that ish long after COVID. I spoke to you directly and you was on that ish.
Still sugar and spice and everything nice. I mean, I know that sounds naive, but I've been horrified. I've been absolutely horrified. So I can see how Black men would have legitimate concerns about Black women, and way that I have legitimate concerns about Black men, and I'm going to say so. Not all of them. Not all of them.
Not all.
But a certain segment, I have an opinion. And I feel like if I'm in an interracial relationship, that does not make me not Black anymore. So that means that I still have the investment.
Ms. Phil, are you in a, or I believe you said you're engaged. Are you engaged to a non-Black man because of maybe being tired of being disappointed by your brothers?
No, because I didn't date so many of them that I could get to that point.
So you have Black men? Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't.
It didn't take many. You went on a whole Swirl campaign for decades. It's amazing that this chick is actually trying to pretend like it didn't happen.
Hear if you said you did or you didn't date Black men.
I said no because I didn't date enough of them to get to that point.
Well, why not?
Okay. Because I'm a good observer, and there's certain things that I was just able to identify and see, and I decided to move around it. Once I realized what I was seeing, I moved around it.
So did you believe that there was no man that was of, I guess, African American descent that was quality or that met a certain standard that they should already have? You felt that your chances would be better with another race?
No, but you know what I wasn't going to do? I was not going to climb every mountain, swim across the seas, the 7 seas, and down the valleys low and the mountains high and through the closets and through the crawl spaces. I was not going to do it. Yeah.
Okay. So what she's trying to do, what Crystal Karazin is trying to do is she's trying to switch her image to a red pill aligned image. That's what she's trying to do. However, when pressured like this woman is doing, she still falls back into her old ways. But it's all based in lies anyway. It's all based in lies anyway. Listen, I'm not gonna climb every mountain and swim every ocean and blah blah blah. Really? Did you really have to do all that to get a Black man? Because you are climbing every sea and swimming every ocean to be with a white man. You're literally in another country. You literally went over an ocean to get with the dude that you are with now, and y'all probably won't even get married. You literally did all of that. Like, after your husband that you divorced, you literally started finding guys in other countries. We could go to your page right now and say, what's it like dating an Italian man? So let's not go there. It's not hard for you to find a decent Black man. It's not.
Yes, Lord, I went to the man who was best for the job. And the one who showed up quickly when I wanted him to up. That's what happened.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So she's still on some disingenuous lying crap. No matter how much she's trying to change her image, or at least she was trying in the past 6 months. The truth about my life and career. I think that this was like the turning point. Let's see. Uncomfortable truth about dating Brad. Let's see. So divested women wear this. She's trying to pretend like none of this happened. It's weird. So after teaching how to get white men for years, this is what it comes down to. 10 reasons why black women should give interracial dating a chance. But I just started seeing the rhetoric that these women were talking about. And yeah, right. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody has something to say. Jessica Enlights. Let's see. It says, why do I see black men competing with black women about who's more acceptable? You should ask black women that. I mean, we don't really have to compete very hard. It's not a competition. I mean, it's not even, we just have to state like, this is how the world actually sees you. And there you go. This makes us equal to our men and there's no need to submit. That doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. I clicked this thought thinking that you had some profound, you know, conversation starting rhetoric, but no, you just said a bunch of words that didn't make any damn sense. I don't have a response to that. All right. Sounds like she's copying the Passport Bros playbook and going overseas. Yeah, it does. But what she's trying to do is much like Austin, and that is find a country where she could say, black women come here, where you are liked more than you are liked in the US. And I have to tell you that for women, there is no better place to find an eligible mate than the US. The men are high earning and single and desperate. To the extent that you're not going to, and you know, you're not going to find that anywhere else. Maybe China, but we got big dicks. So you're not going to actually find a better option anywhere else. She didn't want to date black men, quit lying. Exactly. Like the whole lie is that, you know, you have to swim oceans and you have to do this and do this to get a decent black man. That's crap. You don't. You just have to check your DMs and swipe right on Tinder when you see a decent black man. Y'all don't want to do that because y'all are really concerned more about optics than anything. Ask Shay Sade how difficult it was to find a decent black man, or ask Danica Marie. I like some African women, not this one. Well, my point is, Theo, is that this is what Austin is selling. This is what he's like. Do I take pictures with, you know, women who are not that hot? Absolutely. Absolutely, for a number of reasons, but you know, and those reasons could be something as simple as, "Hey, GC, you mind taking a picture with me?" And I've done that. Do I post those pictures? Well, I don't post any pictures of myself, at least that's under the GameChanger thing. But like in general, do I show those? No, that's for her to show off, not you. The fact that you showing it off means that this is what you are. These are your receipts. I don't think he realizes that he is supposed to be selling a lifestyle. And you're selling a lifestyle that nobody is buying. Like, he can do much better than this. Well, okay. I've traveled the world. I have never seen a country where they wanted American black women. Yeah, that's because that country don't exist. Because all the qualities that men want in women, black women, do not reputedly have in abundance. And if they do, they're considered outliers. And then that would just make them on par with the women that are native to the country. Like if you're fit, feminine, and friendly, and you're in Italy, it's like, okay, so you're now on the same level as the millions of other Italian women. So the only thing they could do at that point is be more accessible. Fit, feminine, friendly, and more accessible. Now they leave that out when they, when they do the photo ops with the Italian guys, but that's what it's really all about. And by the way, they're still not doing better than they would do in the Black community. Who is Grimace? I don't know. He's a guy that steals hamburgers or milkshakes from McDonald's, from Ronald McDonald. Go to show that Black women accept any and all worship, even if it's fake. Absolutely. Any validation is good validation to the invalid. It's like a participation trophy to a kid that knows he lost. It's kind of like that. All right, let's see. Okay, I think I am done for the day. I went like 20 minutes over what I expected, but it was a good show nonetheless. Or actually, let me just check this out right quick. I'm on my YouTube feed, seeing if there's anything else. So I don't know when my next show is going to be. No, I think that's it. All right, so I want to thank everybody that participated. I want y'all to make sure you hit that like button on your way out. And this is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.